Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace and today is Monday, April 10th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day. We have a lot to talk about today. I have all the social medias if you'd like to go and follow me on any of them. I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram. Please go follow me over on there. You see everything that I get up to during the week. That is not necessarily mentioned here on the podcast. Obviously, I don't show you all the pictures that I post this week or on the podcast, but yeah, you get more cat pictures there. I'll just say that. I also have a blog that will have the show notes to this episode. So if you are interested in any of the things that I will be talking about, if I do remember everything, the links to those things will be on my blog. So if you're on YouTube, the link to that will be down below. Or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I have not officially started, but I will be starting in June, working at Pearly Girls, which is a yarn shop in Spring, Texas. Wonderful. All the social medias and website and stuff will be in the show notes as well. So if you are interested in checking them out, which I highly recommend, you can do so. And yeah, if you have any questions about anything that I may have forgotten, or you're just interested, or just want to say hello, please feel free to send me a message. I love getting to chat with you guys. So yes, do not feel awkward about sending me a message just to say hi. I would love it. This is a long intro. We have a lot to talk about. It's late in the afternoon. I have a lot of laundry to fold. So we'll just get on with it and just get things going, shall we? If you'd like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, maybe you're baking, which I kind of want to do later because I have very ripe bananas that need to be used. You could be on your lunch break. I know several of you do that, which I think is really wonderful. I hope you enjoy your lunch. And you could do any of those things, all those things, I don't know, whatever floats your boat, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, everyone, I have a lot of things that I want to say. The question is, where do I begin? Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. I'm gonna stop. I'll continue singing the song. So I used to be very good about saying what I'm wearing, and I have gotten out of that habit, and I very, very much apologize. And someone commented last week, or maybe a couple weeks ago, I forget when exactly, but I am going to do a better job of saying what I'm wearing. And this, everyone, is Textures of Comfort by Heather of Heathered Handmaids. You have a fingering yarn, and you got some double or mohair hill double, and we got some fun textures, obviously Textures of Comfort. We've got garter stitch in there, and it is just a wonderfully long scarf. These are the ends, obviously I've got it wrapped around. And this is actually Heather's yarn in the Toasted Marshmallow colorway, which I just can't even. I love it so much, and I added tassels. It's also, is it on the bias? Is that what that is called? I think that's what that's called. I don't know, but it's angled. That may be what it's called. I tested this for her at the beginning of the year, or I finished it at the beginning of the year, and it is a wonderful, very relaxing pattern. I would highly recommend it. Also, good stash buster. Like, obviously I use just one color. You don't have to use the mohair. You can literally just kind of piece bits of your stash into these different sections, which I think is really awesome. Because again, a good stash buster, you can play with color, you can fade it, you can do whatever you want. It could be as long or as short as you want. It's awesome. Would highly recommend. So that is what I'm wearing today. In other news, I have gotten a sunburn. And we can see right there, there's a line right there. I worked out outside today and was not expecting to get a sunburn. But I know for next time that I do need to put on sunscreen. I put it on my face. Like, I put sunscreen on my face with my moisturizer, but I was not prepared. I also have a line on my legs that I'm not going to show you, but I had like biker shorts on and I have a line on my legs because it's that time of year, people. It is no longer cold or chilly. It's humid, it's hot, it's muggy. It is not my favorite. No. But anyway, this is not a weather podcast. If you're new to the podcast, hi, my name is Grace, and I like to talk about the weather. I find weather very fascinating. If you couldn't tell. Probably not from what I just said, but I do actually talk about the weather quite a bit. Fun fact about me. I forgot my rings. I normally have rings on. I forgot my rings. I have two finished objects. One is an older finished object, but I just wanted to highlight it again because this pattern did just come out. And this is so cute. This is more of Heather's yarn, which is really awesome. This is the Lazy Daisy Crop by Rachel of Rachel Knits Things, I believe, on Instagram. You don't have to embroider the daisies on there. You don't have to do them in this particular arrangement. You can do them however. The people who test this are just like so creative with how they arrange these little daisies in various places. It is a little crop top with some I-cord straps, and it is another perfect stash buster. Depending on what size you make, I feel like the most you'll need is 2, if that, maybe 1.5, maybe 2. I used not quite a full skein, and I did not shorten it, and I think I actually lengthened it, but I could have gone even longer. But this pattern just came out, so you should definitely go and grab a copy, because this is awesome. This is also Heather of Heathered Handmaid's New Growth colorway on her sock base, and this is just so squishy. And this color is just the perfect color for spring and summer. Like, can we even? And then we add the daisies. I just can't even. This is a great pattern. Would highly recommend. There are so many. I feel like this is a good template of things to do and make it your own in some way. It's a very well written pattern, it's very clear, and you can customize it however you want, because it lends itself to that. Very straightforward. If you've never made a crop top like that, because I'm pretty sure this was my first one of those, it's so much fun. Because they're very, very much the instant gratification project, because they go so quickly. And this is basically knitting a little tube. It's stocking it in the round, and we love that. It is the most calming. We also are not going to look at the daisies that I did at the bottom of the little tank top thing, because those are definitely not my best daisies. We're going to look at the ones at the top, because they're just way better. Because by the time I got to the top, I had way more practice. Because fun fact, I had never done a lazy daisy before. And now I have. The possibilities are endless. Everyone needs a copy of this. This is just so cute. And I loved getting to test knit that. Also, I think I'm just gonna Really wanted those to stay in order. I don't know. Okay, I think that went there. Okay. Sorry. What are we doing? I'm recording a podcast. Everyone. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things. Of shoes and ships and dotted rays and fades, neon fades and things. And why we like to use mohair. And endless bind-offs. I think that's all I am gonna do. Of shoes and ships and sealing wax and cabbages of kings. That's where it ends, as far as I know. My memorized portion of that's where that ends. But I like to change words of things. Fun fact, I think I mentioned that recently, but I changed the words to quite a lot of things to make them fit whatever I want. And we're talking about the dotted rays, which is now done. This is my Advent Dotted Rays by Stephen West. And it is completely done. It is not blocked. It is not blocked. I used the Vitamin C Advent Calendar, 2020 Advent Calendar from Pineapple Yarn. And I am just over the moon. I cannot even. Everyone. I just cannot even. The mohair that I decided to throw in for the chevron border, because we go big or go home. That's not necessarily true all the time, but I had extra minis that I wanted to use. So we went the extra large version and we did the chevron border. So the mohair that I used is Long Dog yarn. It's her mohair base. I don't remember if there's a fancy name for her mohair. It's her mohair in the sea glass colorway. And like, can we even? It is just the biggest, most glorious thing. It is, oh my goodness. This bind off, people, it took me like 2 days. 2 days and a half. It was a long day. Long periods of time I was working on this. I worked on this while knowing I was getting ready to feel bad because I had just had my second COVID shot. And I wanted to get this done. So I did, and then I had mohair in my mouth. Which I did then too, and I do now. Or I don't anymore, but I did. Anyway, this is wonderful. This, like, we've been through, I feel like a season of life almost within this, the shawl. Goodness gracious, can we even, a lot has happened. A lot of life was knit into this shawl. Because I started this, obviously, it was an advent calendar. I started this at the beginning of December, which, if you're looking for a fun advent calendar, I cannot recommend enough the Pineapple Yarns, or she's doing another one this year. There are so many out there, but like, Marina's just so awesome. And her yarn is incredible. But, so I started this obviously December 1st. There was no rush. I just took my time. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'm sorry it took me so long and I had to keep talking about it for forever and ever. And now it's middle of May. We're going to be halfway through the year next month in a couple of weeks. What the poop? So yeah, like this is 5 months taking my wonderful sweet time with this project. A lot has happened in 5 months, you know? I feel like there's just been, and like I couldn't even tell you what all happened, but I know that there was a lot. And now we've been through this together. We've been through this together. I hope you've enjoyed my Advent adventures. There will be another one this year. Do not worry. Very excited, but we'll start talking about that later on in the year, you know. But yes, I believe she's, Maureen is also doing a gradient, which I think is basically the same thing. It's a faded gradient, but a different color theme. So I would highly recommend you going and checking hers out. But like I said, there are just so many of them out there that are so good. People are so creative. Love a good advent calendar. And though I do enjoy getting them from wonderful dyers, I would like to at some point make my own out of my stash. I think that would be very fun. Also, there's something so satisfying about folding up a shawl, even though it's kind of wonky, but then like, it's just so soft and squishy. Shall we take a nap? Do we need to take a nap? I think it's time to take a nap. Good night. I'm really debating blocking this. I know it's gonna get even more massive. It's already huge. Do I really want to block it? I don't know. I want the chevrons to lay flat. And everyone, my ends are already woven in because I wove them in as I went. Yes! Don't have to wave in those ends, except for maybe the cast on and cast off one. I learned this trick from Stephen Wesley. You weave in your ends as you knit the row when you change the color, and it is life-changing. It's truly life-changing. And I know there's a lot of different ways to do it, but the fact that I learned it from him is also pretty cool. But yes, no ends to weave in. Need to block it. Then I'll need to trim the ends if I block it. I don't know. The ends are getting definitely getting trimmed. I don't think I'm gonna add anything on the ends like pom-poms or anything like that. I feel like that might be too much because it is so big. Could wear it as a skirt. Like it's a wraparound skirt, which I feel I have jokingly said that I would do that. I've never done that, but with this particular one, I really want to. And I know there's a way. I'm gonna make it work. And when I do, if I do, I'm sure there will be pictures on my Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. You can see how pink my shoulder is. Thankfully it doesn't hurt. I know it won't be that bad, but oh, that's pretty pink. Is my other shoulder pink? Yeah, my other shoulder is really pink too. Yeah. I love that journey for me. I love Alexis Rose quotes. They're very applicable in a lot of different situations. Okay. Moving along. So a lot has happened in regards to my knitting. I also don't know if I've shown this to you or when was the last time I talked about it, but I'm going to talk about it now because I want to talk about it, and also because I need things to talk about. Because I have two projects. One was very spontaneous. One I worked solely on that, and the progress is just insane. But anyway, this is in my rotation. This is my Woolen Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. I love it dearly. It is super cute. I love this color, which is Knit Picks palette in the Pumice Heather colorway. Not asphalt, because I keep thinking that it's asphalt. It's pumice. It's like a beautifully, it's like a gray-brown, or it's like a brown, gray-brown with something like almost blue undertones. Love it. I have quite a bit left to do. Clearly, I haven't even divided for the sleeves yet, but I feel like once I divide for the sleeves, it will go quickly because it's just, granted, this is going to be garter stitch in the round, so that is a little bit different, as will be the sleeves. But still definitely doable while reading, which is very important. I just had a ton of books come into my shelf at the library via ebook, let's say that as well, and so I have a lot of reading ahead of me, which I'm very excited about, but I always get overwhelmed when a lot of things come in at once, and it's like, I don't have time to read all this stuff. Do I have the knitting? I think I can make it work. Just as long as I have knitting, I think it'll be okay. I do have my progress keeper. I don't remember if I moved it last time I talked to you. I'm going to move it now on camera so we all know that I did in fact move it. And hopefully it will encourage me to work on it this week. Before I had to reattach this. This is my sparkly donut from Little Bitty Delights. Please focus, camera. I think that's focused. It's super cute and it's sparkly. We love a good sparkle. I'm sure there's an Alexis Rose quote about sparkles somehow. Goodness gracious, my phone. Okay. Keeps buzzing. Wool and Honey. You have elongated stitches, slip stitches, and little baby cables that create this honeycomb effect. And it looks very complicated. It definitely looks very complicated. I remember when this came out and just being like, and it's on top of garter stitch. Like, how does that even work? But it's really not that bad, I promise. Definitely takes time and looking at what you are doing and focusing and making sure that you're doing the right thing to get things set up correctly. But once you you do your first couple of honeycomby things, it's very straightforward. So yeah, I'm in the downward hill slope, whatever you want to call it, of the honeycombs themselves. So hopefully dividing for the sleeves is in my future. I mean, it is definitely with not just this thing, but in general, because knitting sweaters is one of my passions. But near future with this, hopefully. I'm not going to say next week. That's way too much. Because there's other things I want to and need to work on. And also the weeks are just really busy. I'm not going to even say when I'm going to have that done. Because you know what? I'm not going to put pressure on myself. Because that is what I know that I need. There's no pressure to finish this anytime soon. Though I may want to. This is in a Danica Studios bag that I got from Maker and Stitch. It is so cute. The cat is my favorite. And I want this lady's dress. I think it's super cute. And there's someone eating ice cream. So, it is a cute bag, and it is getting too small for the sweater. So I'm going to need to move that at some point. I've magically misplaced my project bags. I had a stack of them and I put them away, and I know I put them away like in the right spot, and now I can't, for some reason I cannot remember where I put them. So now I'm limited to the few that have been in rotation until I find them. The struggles. You know, the struggles are real. Okay, so now we're moving on. I'm sorry. There's a lot of emotions, I feel like, in this week's episode. There's just a lot of emotions. So starting to get a headache. blame the weather because I know there's rain coming. You can hear that my nose is a little stopped up and it's sinus. Love that journey for me. Very applicable in pretty much any situation. Anyway, let's talk about that one in a minute, because this other one is spontaneous. This was planned. And in fact, you know what? Here, I'm going to bring attention to the small victories of my self-care knitting, because I think that's important and I want to highlight that, and I want to encourage you to do the same. Think about what you were doing for your self-care knitting. When did I guess it? Okay, so last Monday, a week ago today, about 50 minutes ago to the hour, the exact moment, I got my second COVID vaccination. It was Moderna, if you were curious. And I knew, obviously, that I wanted to get the dotted rays done. So when we got home, we had to continue doing life things because that's important. And then I was able to finish that. But the next day, even though I was not feeling good. It was not a good day. But I was prepared, so it was all okay. I was not feeling good, but I knew that if I cast something on, I really wanted to cast this thing on, and if you've seen the past couple of episodes, you probably can guess what this is. I wound up my yarn, even though I wasn't feeling good, and I took breaks in between, and it was all wonderful, and then I felt really good because I was like, yes, you know what? I am actually going to start this thing, because I feel like I've gotten into this bad habit of saying, I'm going to start this new project, and then not actually starting it, and I've come up with excuses or reasons for myself that I can't cast something on, which is not good, because casting on things would bring me joy, and I want to do that within certain moderation of my own thinking through and processing. Does that make sense? That was weirdly worded, but hopefully my point has been communicated. So I made the point. I was like, I am going to wind this yarn. I'm going to wind it all now so I don't have to do it later. I had the needles here because I just finished the dotted rays. I have the pattern already. It's loaded on my Kindle. I have a bag that is now free. I'm casting this on because I don't feel good, and this is gonna be a really, really amazing distraction. And so I did, and I'm almost done. I'm more than halfway done with this shawl, everyone. This is this. You've never seen this before, and I'm gonna talk about this little guy in just a moment, but because I cannot even. You can tell it looks like Yoda, and it does because it's a Yoda donut. We'll save that for just later. We get too excited. We're getting distracted. So yes, this is a weird shape. This is very weird, but I will say this is a really great shape to hold up and show because it's very long and narrow. This is Lumpy Space by Stephen West. It is one of his older patterns. It is similar to one of the mystery knit-alongs that he did, I believe, in 2013. It is similar to Color Craving. I don't remember how exactly it is similar, besides these massive holes that we have here going on here. I thought that this would be weird construction, and I was right, because it was completely different than what I thought it was going to be, and it was even weirder than I thought it was going to be, which, not feeling good, but still wanting to make my knitting brain work and enjoy that, enjoy being creative, it was like it was perfect. It was so good. And there were some things that I was just like, I know it was because I wasn't feeling good and I just didn't get, and so then I had to rip it out, and it was like blah, 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 blah. I'm sure that was going on in my mind when I was frogging it. But yeah, it was just like, I don't know what it was about this shawl, but like, I am very surprised at the progress that I've been able to make. So, I said that the construction is weird. And I'll tell you, you knit one side, you put it on a scoopy or needles or whatever, a stitch holder. You knit the other side. And then you pick up and you go along here and you knit this, and so then you're halfway, and then you have a half of a triangle. And then you pick up and connect the second side that was left over with this triangle that you can, or diamond now, that you continue to knit. It was a lot. And I definitely twisted it quite a bit. And in fact, you can't tell because I hid my mistakes so well. It was really bad. Like, it was similar to kind of twisting your knitting when you're trying to join it around, but I had already joined both sides of this piece, and I was like, I'm not taking this back because it was confusing, and I'm confused. I also don't feel good, but I'm confused, and I'm gonna make this work. So there's a little bit in here that is legitimately twisted around, and I just knit over it. Am I proud of that? Kind of, yeah, actually, because I mean, I knew it would work, I made it work, and I'm proud of it. I knit over my mistake, it's still there, you can find it. But it's kind of hard to tell. You would have to know what you were looking for, and you can only really see it on the other side. I'm not going to show it just because, well, maybe I will show it, I don't know. My phone is blowing up. Oh my goodness. So many notifications. So, here, right there, looks a little bit different than this side, right? I'm going to try and turn this around. I also hope that me explaining how it got twisted makes sense. But, okay. So, there's where it's twisted, and I just left it and kept on knitting. This side's very flat, very normal, exactly how it's supposed to be. This side is not, and I feel like it's probably very hard to be able to tell exactly what I'm talking about, so I apologize if it's not making sense, but my point is, I made a big mistake, and I was not willing to rip it out. So I literally left this very, very big, important mistake and just went with it. And it's fine, because there's no stitches hanging out. Everything's accounted for. It's all good. It's all good. So, there are 3 sections in this shawl. I am currently in section 3, so I am more than halfway done. This will definitely slow me down though, because obviously I am knitting around the entire circumference. Yes, I know there are sirens. We will wait till they are gone, and now we will continue talking about yarn. Yes, circumference. That would be the right word, I believe, even though this is a weird shape. Yeah, I have a lot of stitches on my needles right now, and so it takes me a long time to get through a row, obviously, because it's very long, and I do increases, and it's just a lot. So this third section will definitely slow me down. For some reason I was just trying to think of a song to sing that is talking about don't slow me down. I keep thinking of Don't Stop Me Now, but that's not, I'm not stopping. Even when I make mistakes. You know, love that journey for me. Feel like I've overused that quote at this point. This is a special yarn. This is yarn from Maker and Stitch, which is a yarn shop in Edwards, Colorado, which is very close to where my parents will be moving to in the coming weeks, which is very exciting. In the middle, my maroon color, which I'm also striping with my green. The maroon is Farmer's Daughter's Fibers. And do I have the ball bands in here? I do. Are they readily available? What is that? Yeah, here we go. Ta-da! How perfect. They're all here, all accounted for. The maroon is the Foxy Lady base in the Rough Customer colorway. The blue and the gray, my hands are full of yarn and ball bands. The blue and the gray, which you can tell, and the Yoda donut. The blue is Hue Loco single sock in the Hoarfrost colorway, and the gray is Manos del Uruguay Fino in the Antique Lace. I said that word, Antique Lace colorway. And then the green, the very, very fun. I want to show this skein to you because it is just so amazing. Hello. Can we even? What? It is so beautiful. I love it. And it's so soft. We're taking another nap. Good night. It is so soft. And this is the Odang in the Kinny Kinnick colorway. I feel like I'm going to question that the entire time that I knit this. I love this. This is so much fun. I have wanted to knit the shawl for a very long time, and I knew that I wanted mohair or Surrey or something involved somewhere. It didn't need to be a lot. It didn't need to be the whole thing. That was just not what I was looking for, but I wanted it somewhere. And I can't even. When I saw this green with this combo of colors and then just seeing how it looks knit up, it's just making me so happy. And I know it's very hard to tell right now, but the green is actually being striped with this Rough Customer colorway. And I think once I knit more of it, it will show up more. I also felt kind of inspired at some point. I don't remember why I felt inspired to do this, but I threw it in the bag just in case, because if I do want to, I'm going to throw it in, and I'm going to throw this in. And I know that it doesn't show up on camera well, but this is the most electric purple ever. And this is Hedgehog mohair. And I really like these colors together. I just feel like they're very fun. I feel like this could be a fun bind-off color. I don't know if I can fit it in, how I'll fit it in. I'm sure I can. I know it's physically possible, and I know it's very, very, very possible to do that. I just don't know where. And I feel like just the green of the Surrey and this mohair color are just making me so happy. It also just goes really well with all of the other colors. So why not throw in another bright one? I mean, why not? Go big or go home in some form or fashion. It's a Stephen West pattern, guys. It's just so good. I also have, let's talk about my knitting accessories now. I have my Stars Hollow stitch marker from A Needle Runs Through It. And I did watch a fair amount of Gilmore Girls while I was feeling ill. And I just love that show. It's up there with The Office and some other shows, Jeeves and Wooster, that are just so comforting, and I love them. so much. They always make me laugh. Love it. I have 2 Little Bitty Delights Stitch Progress Keepers on here. First of all, because I felt it was very fitting for some reason, the Pop-Tart, because I know it's one of Lorelei's favorite foods to go with my Stars Hollow. I feel like everything has been very Gilmore Girls themed. I love this one. But more importantly, this one came in the mail and it came in as a kit. And if you've seen the past couple of episodes, you're probably aware of what I'm also going to show you. This is a Yoda donut. And I'm going to remove this so I can actually show this to you a little bit better. Because I didn't really need a progress keeper to show you guys. Because you had not seen any of it. It was a brand new project. We're going to put this aside. We're going to move the Pop-Tart. How about that? So we'll use the Pop-Tart because there's another project that I want to use this Yoda donut on. Okay, so this is Lumpy Space. We'll put this away so we can move on to the next thing. How about that? Ball bands are important. We keep them in with the project. This is in my big purple cat bag from Cassie of Big Sky Yarn Company, which is very fitting because everyone... Sorry, I went out of frame. The Mandalorian mini set came in, and that's where the stitch marker came from, and I'm so excited. Like, can we even... Cassie did such a good job. I am just... Oh my goodness, they're so good. So good. Put them like that. Let me show you the stitch marker up close and personal, and then I'm going to tell you a little funny thing about the mini skeins. Like, can we even? Amanda just knocked it out of the park with this one. It's a chocolate donut with Yoda ears and glitter and what I would think would be like caramel drizzle to signify like his little robe. Like, can we even? I'm not sure if this is technically Yoda or if it's technically Grogu, because, you know, the details, they are different. Grogu is not Yoda. That is not their species name. Yoda is Yoda because that is his name. And Grogu is Grogu. Do we love Grogu so much? He deserves the world. So, if you're new to the podcast, my husband, Sam, is quite the Star Wars fan. He knows a lot about Star Wars, and I think that is wonderful. We have seen quite a few like spin-off shows and stuff that have to do with Star Wars, and I always really enjoy watching that kind of stuff with him because he knows a lot, and so I learn a lot in the process, and I ask a lot of questions. I also have commentary because, you know, that's fun, and he's a good sport and lets me do that. But so when I showed him this yarn and I was like, hey, it's the Mandalorian related, and look at this progress keeper. It's Yoda or Grogu, I don't know, but either way, it's so cute. And so he lined these yarns up in order of people or places that you see first, or order of like appearance, I guess I should say, in regards to the TV show. And I was like, I like that. I like the idea of that. I don't know if I want to put those colors in that order necessarily, but I'm pretty sure this is the order of like order of appearance, basically, which I think is pretty cool that he knew that and could do that. I think 2 of these were planets or places or something, and he did not know, so he just put them at the end. But I love this. And everyone, I'm gonna make a striped sweater because why not? Why not, everybody? Minis are so underestimated. You get so much yardage with mini sets. Like, it's a lot. There's one of my hairs that needs to be removed. There's a lot of yardage with 8 minis at 96 yards mini. So I'm making a sweater. I'm going to make the Cozy Classic Light, Raglan Light by Jessame. And I'm very excited. I need to figure out the order. And I need to figure out some other things. But that is my plan. I'm going to make a sweater out of this, and that is the plan. I just stabbed my glasses with one of these minis. I'm glad it's soft. That was a little jarring. But yes. It's also kind of hard to hold up all these minis. But here is Big Sky Yarn Company. And Cassie is the sweetest. Both Cassie and Amanda are just so sweet. Amanda made this. Like, I can't even. So the point, like, I took this off because I would want to put this on my sweater, and I feel like I should, or I want to start that soon. Because why not? And then, can you imagine what a conversation starter that would be? I could tell people I made my sweater and the yarn is based off of The Mandalorian. And if I had this, I could be like, look at this glorious creation. That's a donut. A Yoda donut or Grogu donut. The feelings about this were very strong. I'm very happy that I got this. I'm just so over the moon. I saw it online when they announced it, and I was just like, I need that. Because I love the colors. The colors are just so pretty, and I feel like that's something sometimes can be an issue. Like if you're really into a theme or like what something is based on, if you're not a fan of like some of the colors but you like most of the colors, then that's just something you're gonna have to deal with, I guess. If the colors aren't necessarily your favorite but you love the theme and you're like, I just really want this thing that is related to this. But this, I love all these colors. Like, I love this one. And this is Cara Dune. Here we have Grogu, which I really love. I love this dark purple one, which is Moff Gideon. Love it. I really like this brownie. I like all of them, basically. This is Grief Karga. It's just stunning. So I need to figure out the placement of what colors I want where. This orange one's also very fun. This is Arvala. It's just so pretty. So pretty. I believe Sam said this was a planet or a place. I feel like I should know that, but I don't actually know that. And this is on her Star Sock Mini. So yeah, I feel like this is just such an amazing collaboration. My favorite, or one of my favorite Progress Keeper makers, one of my favorite dyers together have made something based off of something that I really enjoy. It's so good. Yeah, it's just all good things, all good things. So I'm not sure when exactly I want to start this. I would like to start this soon, but I'm not going to put pressure on myself. We'll see. I feel like I need to finish something before I start this, but you know what? Again, I'm not going to put pressure on myself. There are no restrictions. There are no limitations. If I want to start it, I will. I have the pattern. I just need to wind up the yarn, you know? This is just very exciting. So, I think that is all that I have for you guys this week. Put everything back in the bag and we don't lose the Yoda or Grogu donut. Like, I can't even. We're just gonna put it here for right now so I don't lose it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for listening to me rant and rave about a lot of things. I appreciate it. You are wonderful. I have social medias. I have mohair in my nose again. I have social medias. I have show notes. I have yarn shop information. All that will be linked on my blog, but I would highly encourage you to check out the Pearly Girls and also follow me on Instagram. Those are the two things that I would recommend you do if you do nothing else. Or just send me a message and say hello. I would love to chat and just discuss whatever. Or did you get the Star Wars the Mandalorian mini set? What are you gonna do with that? Oh, I totally forgot to talk about this. The whole Colorado thing on my Instagram. That was quite entertaining. We'll have to talk about that next week. Thank you for voting, if you voted. And more reasons to follow me on Instagram, you know, and my pink shoulders. Oh well. It's inevitable. You know what? I burn, it happens. Once I get a burn out of the way, then I usually tan, but it's rough. It's the beginning of the season. It's fine. It'll be okay. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I hope that you get your to-do list done. I hope you get that laundry folded. If you have plans to bake something and you can't seem to find the time, make time for that, because like that, if it'll bring you joy, make time for it. Put it in somewhere because it will bring you joy, and that's really. And if you bake something, then you have a baked good. Like, I have so many overripe bananas, and I really want to make banana bread. Like, I really, really want to do that later today. But I have laundry to fold first. I'll do that, and then I'll start the banana bread. That's what I'll do. Anyway. I have crafty plans. Oh goodness. Excuse me. I made it through the whole episode without yawning. Until now. And my nose is very stuffed up. You can probably hear it. And I apologize. But that is life. You know what? It's just the way life works, you know? It's reality. I have a lot of crafty plans ahead of me. I'm very just so excited that my dotted race is finished. I almost said over with. That implies that I was wanting it to be done. I did want it to be done, but not in like I can't wait for this to be done type thing. That's one of my favorite things I've knit, for sure. The colors, the pattern, the mohair, the neon, like, what? It's just so good. Continuing to make, you know what, there's something else I forgot to talk about. Can we talk about it really quick? We probably should. I feel like I need to, otherwise I'm gonna forget. Okay, really quick. Regroup. Let's get back into podcasting mode. We're not done yet. Okay, so this past Thursday, I went and hung out at the Pearly Girls on Thursday. And I believe they are starting a May knit along of sorts of the Sorrel, summer Sorrel tea. And now I can't remember the designer's name, but we are just going to keep on going. I had nothing with me, obviously, and I couldn't cast it on even if I wanted it to. So when I got home, I went stash diving. And everyone, this is going to be the brightest garment. One of the brightest garments that I've made. Because I'm starting with, oh goodness, this is all snagged. I am starting with this color, which is Gossip from Hedgehog Fibers. And can we even, like, what? What? It's so pretty. So if you're unfamiliar with the pattern, you can fade it. You don't have to. A lot of people have faded it. I don't know. Hopefully that made sense. And so I will be fading it. I have a 3-color fade planned. Again, all stash. All very old stash. And it's going to be really bright. And I kind of love it. So we're starting with the bright pink. And then we go to the purple. And then we go to the blue. And it's going to be the most summery, bright, joyful thing. I needed more bright colors in my life. I think that because I finished the Dotted Rays, it was like there is a neon bright color hole in my life and it needs to be filled. And I think this accomplishes it. You know, I think I'm doing just fine with that. So I'm plugging along, and I have very, very much enjoyed knitting on this. I need to figure out when I'm fading and how I'm fading. Thankfully there are fade instructions written out in the pattern, but as to when you start fading, I need to figure that out. So yeah, I am really loving this. This is super fun and very spontaneous, and just, again, a good stash buster. You don't have to here's a tip. I will say this. If you want to knit a pattern that says to fade something, you don't have to have 5 full skeins of something or however many full skeins of something. You don't have to have full perfectly unopened, unwound skeins. If you want to pull like little bits and pieces from everything, if it makes a fade that you really like and you get the grams or the yardage that you need, then fade like that. Like, it's very similar to the advent calendar almost, because it's like, really, you fade with whatever you have. You fade and you make it work, because fading is very, very fluid, I feel like. You can do whatever. So if you want to knit the summer sorrel and don't have 3 skeins, full skeins, then find the yardage that you need and just kind of, or the grams that you need, and just kind of pull from your stash and make this beautiful, unique fade that's like no one else is going to have something like it because it's just from your stash. And how awesome is that? Right? That is so cool. This is Summer Sorrel Tea. I'll show you guys, I'll go into it more detail next week, but I completely forgot about that. I think I was just too excited about the Mandalorian. That's my bad. But anyway, now we are done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around for this little extra bonus bit. But that is all that I have for you guys this week. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye. Pick the right hand this time. We didn't go with this hand, but we went with this hand, which is the right hand. And actually my right hand. How perfect. I'm so funny. Bye.